Hello all, I am welcoming you for all this session. I am going to take about functions and pointers. What is meant by functions in C programming? Function is a group of statements that executed together to perform the particular task. In order to reduce the complexity of big programs into the smaller modules, we are going for functions. The advantages of using functions: we can avoid the rewriting the coding, reusability, modularity, debugging and editing of code is easy and more readable, and abstraction. Now we are going to see about types of functions. There are two types of functions: predefined functions or library functions, and user-defined functions. Predefined functions means that are already available in system libraries. Say for an example, if you want to use the basic input and output functions, that is scanf and printf, we have to include the stdio, that is standard input output .h header file. And for existing mathematical operations, we can use math.h. And for handling the string operations, we can use string.h header file. This is the example program for predefined function. Now we are including the header files stdio.h and string.h. Inside the main, we are declaring two character variable s1 and s2. The length of the variable is 50-50. We are getting input from the user two strings by using the predefined function gets. After that, we are going to find the length of the both the strings, length of string 1 and string 2. We are comparing by using the built-in function str compare s1 s2. If the both the strings are equal, it will be printed as string 1 and string 2 are equal. Otherwise, it will be printed as string 1 and string 2 are not equal. This is the sample program by using the predefined function. And this is the another example for using predefined function, computing the square root and cube root. For computing the square root and cube root mathematical operations, we have to include the math.h header file. And for computing square root, the basic built-in function is sqrt. And for cube root, cbrt. User-defined functions means user can define their own functions in order to reduce the size and complexity of the program. For creating user-defined functions, there are three basic terms are important: function prototype or function declaration, function definition, and function call. Function declaration: before using the function, we have to declare the function. The function declaration contains three main parts: function name and function prototype and actual arguments we are passing inside the function. This is the syntax, that is return type, function name, and what are all the arguments we are passing inside the function. The function definition means actual statements that are to be executed, that is set of statements within the block. Block means within open curly brace and close curly brace, the set of statements will be given that are executed together to perform the particular task. The function definition declaration should end with semicolon, but in function definition, there is no need to give the semicolon. That is the proper syntax. This is the syntax for function definition, and this is the working of function. Then terminology is used in function: calling function and called function. The parameter passed to the functions are actual parameters and formal parameters. Then there are basically four types of function calls: function with arguments with return type, function without argument and without return type, function without argument with return type, and function with argument and without return type. Function with arguments. These are all the four basic types. This is the example for computing the sum. So no return type and without arguments. And function without arguments. Real time example. Call by value means we are passing call by value and call by reference. We are copying function 1, function 2. Call by value means the Xerox copy existed itself. But in call by reference, the actual argument and formal argument, the changes in the address are executed. There is no copy. If you are storing one value in function 1, if you are modifying inside that value in function 1, that will be reflected in the function 2. But in call by value, there is no changes in main function. Only inside the function call only the value will be changed. That is the main difference of call by value and call by reference. So these are all the example programs for call by value and call by reference. And recursion means the function calls itself is called recursion. The computing the factorial of the given number is the example for recursion functions. Factorial and Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series means the addition of the previous two numbers will be the third number. Say for an example, if we add 0 and 1, the result will be 1. And if we add 1 and 1, the result will be 2. If we add 1 and 2, the result will be 3. If we add 2 and 3, the result will be 5. So this is the concept of using Fibonacci series. And pointers. Pointer is a variable that stores the memory location of another variables. This is the main pointer concept. Int x equal to 10. This is the variable. We are holding 10 as the value for x. That value will be stored in some memory address. The pointer variable holds the memory address of that particular variable. Thank you.